happen. As we get into this one, again, the other like little dynamic to think about coming into this game is what both teams like series have looked like so far, because they both played a good amount of games, but it actually hasn't been against almost any of the same teams. For Aster.Aries, they played against the presumed top 3, and then for the side of IG, they've played against one of the ones that we might be seeing towards the bottom side of it. We'll see.
Yeah. And look at these item starts. Ready? We're playing versus Batrider and Mars. Everybody buy a stick. It's stick gaming, baby. There's going to be one lane that spams Rebuke, another one that spams Shadow Poison and Reflections and stuff like that, and another one that spams just Sticky. So it's an amazing stick game for the lanes. So for lanes, for Aries, they covered their bases already. I like that they did that right away.
So Aries will have a lot. If they have a 5-on-5 fight at the start, can you imagine all of the value? So much value.
I'd be pretty shocked. Even though there's an SD Mirana and they have this great pickoff, I think their level 1 looks so weak. Because it just TB. Like TB. I really want to see if Emo can make this hero look good, because it has looked so underwhelming. Meta is so long cooldown. You're so squishy all game.
Yeah.
And I know we have seen the TB versus Lesh matchup. People were picking it a lot at some point because the TB, you outrange the Lesh, right? Lesh has some difficulty getting on you, but he's got a Tusk. He's got a Dawn. They have avenues to be able to bring this Lesh or help this Lesh survive so that he can get on top of the TB. So let's see if IG can impress, and let's see if Dust, that Batrider pick, which he has struggled on. He's looked great in mid-game. He has made crucial mistakes, though, on this hero of overcommitment.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a back-and-forth type of sort of season for Dust, just in the DPC writ large, as White Album already trading hits with them here mid. But both of these teams have struggled at times. I think that there's been more moments where I felt like Aries have looked solid, though, playing against some of those top teams. What was it, the match against Xtreme that you were talking about that they might have won one or something? One of those top teams that they were able to take a game off of. And so for both of these teams trying to right the ship, because there's only one series win between the two of them.
Yeah, I feel like Aries' score doesn't really reflect how they've played, right? We had that incredible high ground defense the other day that they did make a little bit of mistake pushing and closing the game out. So I think that's one thing also they have to work on Aries, just being a little bit more cautious. But they've had really good plays, like TK on his Tiny has been a standout. It's just they've played versus really good teams, right? Those top 3.
Right. And for Emo, finding his footing in that safe lane, Irving, Polisen playing up top on this Mars Mirana lane, against the Slark and the Rubik. And this is going to be something to watch for here, too. If there's ever a moment where they can get a spear into arrow, Rubik definitely can go down in this lane.
Yeah. They're gonna be tanky, though, right? These constant stick stacks that are going to be there. So let's see if they may have to make sure to keep tabs of those, keep tabs of all that regen that's going to be kicked out of the lane.
So far, mid, we're sitting very even. 11-0 versus 9-2 as the first round of runes are going to spawn. And I believe that's a bottle for both of them, so they're just going to trade off.
What boots? Right?
Okay, never mind.
Versus the Batrider, you tend to see always those boots rush really quick because you get the mana anyway from your stick. So looks like he might even opt to skip the bottle this time around if he ends up having a good start.
Is that uncommon?
I mean, unless it's still pretty valuable to have it. It's not that uncommon to skip the bottle versus the bat, but unless it still seems like it's pretty good. We'll see what he opts to do. Stop.
Ooh, talked about it. Red Panda caught and chased, and first blood going Polisen's way. A good start here for IG.
They caught him on the side.
Yeah.
Key thing to play. It's a lot of the times when you're playing as like 5 position versus a killer lane. Don't want to play too much on the side. You play in the lane with your carry, then you don't have to worry so much about getting chain comboed. He can help you out. If you're on the side, your carry's not going to help you. He's like, I ain't sacrificing last hits to help my boy.
No, absolutely.
That's the key thing.
Yeah, you got to sort of play in the safe zone. There's a little box that you want to stay in. If you're not there, things get really rough. But of course, Mars also wanting to be in the lane for the last hits. The lane has to be pushing in for that to be as relevant, too. And Paulison, after that first blood, is having boots brought out on the courier along with the clarity. So he's going to be stocked up and more able to harass back and deal with that Rubik some more.
Interesting. I always wonder what the builds on these Miranas are sometimes going to be. I'm a big Mirana player. I know I'm not at the level of these guys anymore by any means, but I usually like sometimes having the stats in the lanes. So sometimes I see like the Urn still picked up relatively early on. It's been a while now since we've seen Urn on these Miranas, but sometimes can be very valuable, especially into like these double heals, because we could see a Vessel being pretty valuable this game, but that just means they won't have it.
Yeah. Of course, you know, the early movements around, trying to find some kills here. Ooh, that one hurt. Not going to be able to connect on that from Irving.
Oop. He paused immediately. He's like, I'm lagging.
Guys, clearly something's wrong.
I missed the spear. It's lagging. Kale.
Yeah, it's a funny one. But yeah, I think that this is going to be the one of the lanes where we need to watch for some kills going on, because mid, at least for now, I mean, is there an all-in point that you can find with the Batrider onto the Lesh?
He could, honestly, because he's gotten the flame break point, which sometimes we see these players, they hold that skill point. If they see an opportunity, they skill the flame break. If they're just going to play farming game, they get Firefly. So this tells me that Dust is perhaps going to look to set up for a kill.
Well, we'll see if they is able to get that. Disruption. Pop the ulti, but they had already used the slow and don't really have the damage to do anything else there onto Shang-Chi.
He was playing careful. His
back in.
Panda again.
Oh, he's good.
He's all right. He's got stick charges at the ready. And TK, he makes a quick rotation mid, takes a bounty rune, and then takes the water rune, and then White Album denies that top bounty rune. So yeah, he's skipping bottle. He's got the arcane boots already finished.
Interesting.
But he's getting kind of owned. Dust is owned, like 20 and 11. I can't believe the denies.
That's kind of
The
crazy.
craziest thing is TK.
Emo down bottom will get hit by the Starbreaker. TK backs out, and he's going to be fine from that little initiation. Yeah, really a good game from Dust so far.
Batrider is traditionally not really a hero that gets that many denies. Sure, sometimes you can just bully in the lane just because of your sticky stacks, but getting 12 denies versus Lash is crazy. Uh-oh. QIQX
is down low, and TK moves in, but it was actually the Dawnbreaker burn that took him down in the end. I mean, this is kind of getting into a bit of a scary territory for Emo. He's going to have to be careful here, because in spite of things, you know, looking like they could be good for CS marks, there's a lot of damage that can come out pretty quick.
He'll probably look to back away pretty soon. Like just go to the jungle, the usual TB thing. Around level 4 or 5, you don't like to stay in the lane because there's going to start being rotations, and you're incredibly fragile.
Yeah, but IG doing great so far.
Is that double bottle refill?
Whoa!
They both came over. I guess they want to set up for that 6-minute rune, and they can't gank. They can't gank individually, right? They want the SD and the Mirana together to set up for that arrow combo. But now, do see Aries responding.
Yeah, he actually can't even step up to the wave right now with this, because QIQX is just there.
Bottom. That means they're going to go aggro.
Trying to go immediately, and they find the finish onto Emo. Stun, connects, arrow,
Takes it.
tank it. Well played by Red Panda there. Make sure his buddy's going to be fine. They even brought in TK for the snowball, but in the end, it is going to be Dust getting the DD.
Aries with some heads-up moves. They see all those supports in the mid lane, immediately go aggro onto Emo, and now he's pushed out of the lane. Now this Dawnbreaker is going to have a good time.
You know what's interesting? This is exactly what you said you wanted to see out of IG. You said they need to find a way to enable Dust to give him a better game. They gave him a double bottle refill and then brought multiple heroes mid to secure the first rune. This is seeing growth throughout the course of a season.
No, absolutely.
IG
Play around that strength.
IG looking a lot better. But can they keep it up? Because they still have a lot of things that they need to deal with in this one.
They might be able to get bottom, though. Dawn stepped up pretty far.
Find him there. Banish, arrow, steps in, moves, connects for the stun. Now TK does have snowball, but good amount of damage out. Emo, he goes down. Oh, that one hurts. God, and he went down before the Dawnbreaker did.
Yeah, and he popped meta right away, right? So he dies with no meta now, and that's a level 2 tag team. In combination with that Starbreaker, it's a ridiculous amount of burst damage. 724 damage from the Dawn. Shreds him. All right, so they kind of ganked themselves a little bit there. They wanted to make that move, but I don't think they expected to do that much versus the TB.
Right. Even had the ward in the area. The TK rotation, really the thing that just separated that out and made it work. He gets so much experience now. Level 4 on him.
Emo comes back down here. Okay, this is a bold move. Thought he would probably start to resort to jungle and just give one of the lanes to the supports, but no, looking to just continue to stay down there. The support's moving.
TK, flame break, push back, snowball there onto Paulison. It's gonna go for the leap out. And tag team continues to punch, but gonna get brought down.
Accepts his death.
Absolutely. in spite of that death, Dawnbreaker is still incredibly strong. I was wondering if she was going to go for the ulti onto the Tusk to try and make a counterplay happen or something like that, but didn't see the value there.
If that poison stack hits, they probably commit with an arrow. They might still look to. Emo is just probably feeling kind of scared because how close it is to the tower at this point.
Yeah, that ward is getting tons of value. And they're going again.
They might be able to get it. Emo. It's close to tower, though. I'm sure Emo is telling his team, he's like, guys, I don't want to do it when it's that close. What if Lesh TP's in? We're just going to get fully counter-ganked. Let's see.
They're going for... this is not going to turn into anything good.
No.
IG getting a little bit too far forward, get heavily punished, and yeah, White Album's there. Good decision by Emo to not go for that.
Oh, the double sentry. Also, they know this ward's there after those moves. But again, they kind of set up a gank onto themselves. Emo very reluctant to step forward. He knows it's too close to tower. And now White Album will find himself a nice regen rune after that quick move.
We'll have to see that one. Dust. Stun connects. QIQX. Moves back into lane and able to help force back the Leshrac. As Emo is retreating back to the jungle, but there's a lot of people nearby.
He's being stalked. They have a ward right on top.
White Album moves in.
Uh-oh, Emo.
Yeah, this is rough. Shards for the block off and Lesh to finish him off here. That one hurts. Dude, and down bottom, Dust is making a move to try and turn this around. They will find the Dawnbreaker, but Fairy Fire to keep Paulison alive. So another return kill. Big problem is that if Terrorblade's dying like that, is not doing so well. This is so much space for Slark.
He takes the tome.
Oh,
so this is going to be some lower level supports on the side of IGSTK. He's going to get him.
Paulison caught, didn't have another leap. That ward, max value. Gets a Terrorblade kill and a Mirana kill.
Can they punish TK for this? He's
Flawless
got a punch.
I think he's just going to go down. It's going to save that for a gank later. White Album going to get the kill onto QIQX while this is happening. Snowball.
Oh, I guess he thought he snowballed to the right, but it was actually...
Yeah, that wasn't where it was. Still,
either way.
A turn onto Dust. Dawnbreaker went for the Starbreaker. Not enough for the kill.
Okay, a little bit of awkward spell usage there. Pulled him actually out of the Starbreaker, and the Dawn ult completely whiffs, but it happens. Does happen. They're still just continuing to shut down Emo, though. He pops the meta to try to get to some extra farm, but he's starting to fall behind, and his counterpart, the Slark, who's been in a free 1v1, is going to have that quick timing on defusal.
Yeah, this is the type of start that you want for Ulu. The only thing better is a couple of stacks of Essence Shift, but doesn't get any of those ones. He's been left completely alone.
Slark's weak point is really that laning phase, and then if you're playing versus a lot of like ground targeting spells and stuff like that, so I'd say for Ulu right now, he's having the dream.
Yeah.
And now they're going to perhaps try to look to punish him, but he actually just backs away.
Well, this wave is going to be coming in with a catapult that looks like similar movements down bottom. The Terrorblade Illusion trying to come in and catch these creep waves here and keep them off the tower. So
he gets 2 CS with it as well. Beautiful.
That's pretty nicely played.
Maybe in a third. Nope, just kidding.
Dead. But yeah, Shanxi keeping himself in there and making sure he finishes off that tower while Emo just tries to play catch-up.
Let's see what Irving makes to his first rotation, too. He's actually pretty close to Blink on this Mars already, but I'd like to see him use a Mars ult before he does even get that one, if they can see an opportunity. They have to slow down this Lesh. Lesh is just getting too big. He's already got Soul Boost. I think his Bloodstone is nearly... Yeah, his Bloodstone's nearly done.
Yeah, White Album is really a problem. And I also feel like the fact that Dawnbreaker, in spite of being involved in so many of these, like, deaths, a couple of deaths here and there, is also still getting a ton. It's like, it's very much a Tricore that's getting into a scary territory.
And they have so much counter-initiation, right? They have Tusk, they have Dawn, they have Slark, who kind of can counter-initiate in his own function, and eventually Rubik will have Shard. So a lot of different ways to protect each other, while IG, they're more about just going full aggressive.
Paulson tries to get out of there. Does manage to escape with the leap out, but this is an interesting timing because Moonlight Shadow to get away. It's also as the Mars Blink Dagger is coming mid.
Okay, maybe he can catch it then.
Yeah, this is a really good timing to try and find White Album right now. He steps forward. That was their moment.
I thought they were definitely going to go there. Even if he has backup, he was so deep.
Oh, that is a missed opportunity. They were waiting and now they smoke together. I don't know if you get a better opportunity than that, but they might still be able to, as he's over here by the hard camp.
Looks like they're just smoking to the Dawn. I guess maybe they were afraid of the Dawn ult.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Either way, I mean, that would have maybe just been a Dawn ult to his death under the tower. Now they'll find.
Shanxi connects onto the wall, trying to bring him down with the arrow, and it's going to be more than enough. So they get the kill, force some rotations even.
They just really want to bully this Dawnbreaker, I guess. They don't. They're like, White Album, you can keep farming, you're fine. But you know what, Dawnbreaker, hell no, you can't have a game. They're just constantly ganking him. I feel like they really want to try to find this Lesh. His Bloodstone is going to be done now. So for the next situation when they go gank him, they might just get, ganked in themselves, right? Like if they make the aggressive move, it's just going to get turned on them.
Well, and I mean, for as much as, yes, they're bullying, you know, the Dawnbreaker, there's also the fact that, like, she's still third highest net worth.
She's still doing excellent and immediately has a lane pushing into her too. So right back to farming.
Yeah.
A bit of interesting moves there from IG.
Well, 14 minutes, 5-7. The Echo Saber is completed for the Dawnbreaker, and I'm wondering if IG, I guess that, again, with the Terrorblade, they can kind of feel confident going and playing a little bit more low-key, I guess, at least until he gets his first item, but they're going to need him to be online at some point to fight.
Yeah. Aries, they're ready to go. I mean, they have the Fusel, they have the Bloodstone, everybody's ready to battle. They have the Dawn ult as well, IG. Will they see this one coming?
Ulu, they spotted the Courier heading over, and yeah, they run into a Shadow Demon. He is going to drop here. Very quick off that.
Dust immediately starts shoving the wave in. He has boots of travel, so he should be just fine up here. And the rotation, though, IG, they're making a quick move again, trying to punish the Dawn. Do they have damage between these two, though? I don't think so.
Yeah, this is a hard kill to get. Arrow is there. Oh, double start. No, not going to be able to beat enough.
They need a +1 in order to go for this kill.
She's so tanky.
She's so tanky. So, like the Echo Saber, like you said, still farmed. So, and that is a Mars ult. So now for the next situation, now Aries, they have an opening. What do they want to go for?
Ooh, let's push back there.
Gee, they're looking to still fight around here without their Mars ult.
An arrow connection, and well, they drop the Dawn ulti.
Dust.
White Album, the two-man stun, immediately blows them up. Irving goes down too. So they use their entire kit pretty much right there on that Rubik and get punished pretty freaking hard. Tower's about to fall.
That feels almost like a forced move, right? Like they make the move bottom with Mars ult, then they don't have it for mid. They go for a support kill, but all of Aries is prepared, and they have the Dawn ult to come in. QIQX
Gonna get brought down. Pretty stuff from Aster.Aries. I mean, it feels like they had an idea of what they wanted to accomplish and are just executing it perfectly.
They're one step ahead, it feels like.
Yeah.
And IG, it's like they just keep going for the Dawnbreaker. They have to try to slow down this Slark and Lesh, or the game is just going to quickly start falling into Aries' favor. And my question's always going to be is when is Emo going to actually be able to get involved versus all this crazy amount of damage?
As we see the replay here, I mean, it was, you know, not really a great chance there to try and get a save. There was maybe a chance for a snowball save or something like that, but the two stunned by the Lesh as they were running mid was really solid.
It was close. Like TK almost got snowballed, then he got speared away. They actually almost don't even lose the Rubik there.
Look at how close the net worths are amongst the Aster.Aries team.
That Tricore scaling really nicely, and they have a Tricore that scales. And for IG, they only really have, sure, you know, Bat can do some type of scaling, but the TV is that big scaler, so have to be a little worried for them whenever the state of the game starts to get like this. They have to make bigger hits with the Mars.
You can see 66% right now on the probability. And yeah, 3 is bigger than 1 last I checked. Banishment, no arrow to follow. Game looking very much comfortable for Aster.Aries. Want to see what their next decision is as far as, like, do they try and push down one of these other towers? Are they going to just sort of play it a little bit more safe, farming to that next item? Unclear.
Still look to play a little aggressive, and they just always have bailouts, it feels like, yeah. Like, now White Album is, now he's really hard to gank. Like, maybe if they even try to set up on him, the Dawn ult's going to come in and they all just get turned on from the crazy amount of healing. And like I was mentioning before, they don't have this urn, this vessel kind of carrier to prevent a lot of that heals. It's an arcane mech on the Mirana that we've gotten used to seeing, but I feel like this game could have seen some merit for that Spirit Vessel rush.
Finding
Irving
The rest of the team coming in. The arena, it hits onto both. But the Dawnbreaker ulti to try and turn this. Dust gets control over that Lesh. White Album is very low with Emo to the side. This is looking a lot better for them here. And will take down that Dawnbreaker. So Lesh, Dawn dead. And we're seeing, you know, if they do get the jump, it's not bad.
Aries the one who forced the aggression and get turned on. Jumping onto Irving, kind of a mistake there for them. But a quick turn up from IG. They brought numbers. That's BKB lasso, that's meta. They used literally everything there for the fight. Now they have to be careful how they do position.
Well, of course, with Arena down, Aries very comfortable going for some hunting plays here. And we're also seeing something that could become a problem later. The Shard queued up for the Slark.
Yeah, that save. He can definitely protect his allies versus the Mars and versus that Bat Rider. Looks like he's going to finish his BKB first so he can just commit into fights. But yeah, that Shard's definitely going to be problematic. Tons of save, right? So much save on the side of Aries. And a good steal. Red Panda's holding on to this Demonic Purge.
Oh, yeah. That one's pretty nice. I feel like against the Bat Rider in particular, that's going to be hard to play against.
Yeah, it's like the complete counteract to that early BKB timing. If he just gets that Purge onto him, Dust might just be brought down.
Has a mech, too, on Red Panda. Have a cool little build for the Rubik. Not often seen, but I like it. I think, is he going for Force after?
Probably. I think we saw GH do the mech build as well. I think we've seen a couple of people, but not that many. I've been seeing a lot of variety from these Rubiks. Lens, Shard Rush, Mech Rush. More heals, though, right? They're playing around the sustain lineup.
Absolutely. Sustain, sustain, stay alive. Wear them out.
If you have long-duration team fights on the side of Aries, you're probably just going to end up winning them. Because it's all about like exploding a target quickly for the side of IG.
Yeah. And
QIQX? Ooh, can't catch him.
The Blink Dagger done now on the Tusk, so even more avenues to start a fight off. They're a little ways away from BKB on Mars.
He's showing.
And that means he could be in some trouble here. The rest of them move on in. Ooh, tries to get out, but it's just White Album. It's there. The stun even popped the arena for this, and the shards force him back out. Yo, that was cool looking. That was really cool.
Tried his best to save himself, but now it's actually like a double mistake, right? Dies, he's going to respawn, not have arena as well, too. And Aries, they didn't have to commit anything big. They can look to take a fight still.
I mean, Ulu was still farming while I was going on. He got gone on a little bit, but he was okay with it. So, White Album comes in, clears out this mid lane. Last couple of engagements after the disastrous one in IG's side of the map have been pretty rough, or pretty good for Aries. And IG gonna need to sort of find some more of that sauce here.
They have a full Scotty on Emo. Well, he's got 5,300 gold, so hopefully he just goes and picks that up. That could be a key for him to stick onto this Lash, stick through these BKBs, and actually be a little bit tankier.
Right.
I've been seeing him also just putting stats in instead of leveling up the reflection, so just wanting to tank up versus this big burst damage.
Yeah, he has it completed. Yeah, so I mean, that's one thing, definitely. Like, Lesh's build right now, this Bloodstone into the BKB, is great to try and, like, you know, stay alive and out-damage things, but if Scotty's done, can't regen through that.
If Emo can keep the distance, he's going to do well in the fights. Just can he keep the distance is the question because of that gap close that's on Aries. Quick little pick off, QIQX.
Yeah, Rubik there was fishing for the imprisonment, trying to get that disruption. Couldn't manage to find it though. TK hunting around with White Album right behind. They're going to blink forward, find the Mirana. Do they have anything for after? Gets caught, but still 2 more leap charges. Paulson's fine.
Yeah, they don't want to fight in that same area that they just kind of threw away their lead in. So being a little bit more hesitant.
And Emo with Scotty done. I wonder if that maybe also is part of it. Like seeing these Scotty illusions now, they're sort of not playing as aggressively postured as they were before.
Yeah, they definitely saw him finishing it. So maybe just they have to just get on him. If they don't get on him, then Emo probably will be able to control that fight. But they have to be careful how over-aggressive they play. And also, I don't feel like they're really forced to do too much on the side of Aries either. Like, they probably know we have a great scaling lineup versus this Terrorblade. So as long as we don't, like, feed these kills in the enemy jungle, should be able to out-carry him.
And for IG, they want to make the move first. They want to take advantage of this timing.
get Irving a good ult. Who's he going to find?
Right there, it's TK saving that ulti. Snowball tries to get out of there, but with Dust in the area and Paulson too, they should be able to get the rundown. Does he force out a lasso? Doesn't look like it. Gonna get dropped.
They will be able to clean up the stack with all those Ancients dropping low. That was a good little move.
Yeah, really well done by IG. They get the kill, don't use any big ultis at all, and now take control of the area, get some vision down.
Next big move for them would be if they can catch one of the big cores, then they can pop meta, go straight to Roche.
I mean, they're heading over that way right now on Dust, but I think he's just looking for a rune. Yeah. It's going to be down bottom.
I think if they just go for a naked Roche, that's a little bit too scary versus this lineup, because Aries does that. That gives the avenue for White Album to get on top of the Terrorblade, right? So they do need a pick off, and they're going to try to set up for it. Arcane Rune, Blink, BKB on Dust. This could be their option.
And getting together on Aries. Now, Dawnbreaker's not there, so he can pop a big ulti.
Oop, they got the smoke broken.
Paulson hunting. Arrow not going to be able to connect. Dust, they're going to retreat back to their vision. And it looks like that's going to be the extent of it for right now. Yeah, Moonlight Shadow wears off. And IG still hold this high ground, but, I mean, there's no way Aries walk into him there.
Emo has to be, it's all positioning for Emo. And it's all about just being cautious how they do full commit. They have to catch the proper heroes, and they have to be very wary of that Dawn ult coming in.
White Album, they find one. This is a good one to get. Can they bring him down in time, though? Snowball onto one, but they don't have the damage. Can't pull him out of that. And Dawn trying to back out now with already White Album dead. The Aries can't afford to fight. They got to run away. They bring down that Dawnbreaker, find Red Panda. This Rubik also in trouble, and with a lot of time left, they can go into Roche.
Straight to Roche. That absolutely perfect grab. They get the Lash, pull him completely away from his team. Emo is standing outside of that Mars ult, just wailing on him. Couldn't have asked for a better fight from them.
My goodness. And they don't have that save for the lasso right now.
No.
Like,
can't
lift,
snowball it.
Snowball, nothing.
Nope. You have to grab the bat, which I guess they could have actually maybe done because he didn't pop the BKB till the very end, but they 100-0 that Lash. Doesn't get BKB off, doesn't get Bloodstone off.
I mean, he snowballed. I wonder, I mean, he knew that, right? Surely.
He tried to, I mean, yeah, like Panel said, you can't snowball the lasso, so. But he tried for it.
Well, 14-11, 14-12. At 26 minutes in now, I mean, Aries, they're going to need to come up with some other answers for this. Dust, it's out of there.
They can't let this bat just free initiate. They have to be a little bit more prepared for it because their smoke got broken, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of knew that IG was playing over there, and they still, White Album stepped up a bit far. He has to be, quite a bit more careful.
Again, like when we saw him blink right on top of the lasso and stuff, it looked as if he thought that he could snowball it or something.
It looks like they thought they could get the save off, but
I don't know.
And now bottom.
Shang-Chi.
Lasso's back.
Well, this one's going to be a freebie for him as Dawnbreaker going to get dropped. And another kill. So starting to rack these ones up on IG. 4 minutes on this Aegis. What can they get done with it?
Gotta keep sweeping the map. Dust is having a spectacular game, and now with no Dawnbreaker, they could look to continue pressuring. Like their downtime of them being able to fight is kind of cooldown reliant, but if they can wait a moment and then go for those pickoffs, it's going to work great for them. Lasso cooldown, but now they've got meta back up. They've got the Mars Arena.
Look at that swing.
Yep. Great plays.
Yeah, all it takes is that one fight and, hitting their timings well. And this is the moment. IG, things starting to come together. Now, they do have Metamorphosis back up. I don't know if they feel confident trying to go high ground, but they definitely can at least clean up some more of these towers around the outside of the map.
Yeah, Emo is huge now. Right after finishing Scotty in one fight, has an S and Y and a small crit. So again, now he's even perhaps survivable enough to be able to stand in the midst of the fights, but still same idea. He still wants to stay on the outskirts, but he's going to shred these heroes.
Yeah.
It's their plate mail. White Album is actually not building defensive either. He's gone for the Kaya rather than going for plate mail, going for some Shiva's build. So we'll be a bit squishier versus that TB.
That's a good point, yeah. It's going to be a bit of an issue. Needs to get a lucky
Blast
tier 3
ring.
item or something. Yeah.
Needs that little blast ring that we love so much.
He has it, actually. Dawnbreaker has it.
Oh,
Dude.
that's actually surprising that they don't give it to him.
Yeah.
Guess he's just all about the damage, you know.
Yeah.
He's like Spell Amp, Vambrace, Kaya, Spell Amp.
If they're hitting me, I'm dying anyways.
Yeah.
So let's go out swinging.
I really think I would quite prefer like a Vambrace on the Dawn and switch up the blast ring to him. But either way, we'll see what they opt to do. As IG, everything's back up. They got to use Lasso bottom. It's back up again. They can go for another aggressive play.
They have a really good ward over here in the jungle too. If they happen to back out this direction on Aries, that would be a nice pickoff for him. But Polison walks on in, drops down a ward. That is scouted immediately, and Dawnbreaker runs away.
How quick he's like, hell no, I'm not hitting that.
Guys, it just showed up.
Yeah.
And Rubik is going to come and de-ward that one, it looks like.
Will Dust get him? Nice.
Yeah, that'll happen. The arrow's there. Spear for the finish.
That's where the core is like, stupid support.
And then she goes in.
And then she goes and gets... I love it.
Yeah.
Great place. I mean, Dust, he's on fire. 6-1 and 5 has gotten pretty much all the proper Lasso targets. Except for that one mess up in mid lane where they got the Rubik. It's a pretty flawless game by him.
That's like when Amanda wants me to go and check if there's a noise outside. When it's
Yeah. They bait you, you know, they bait you.
29 minutes in. Gem on the Shadow Demon and Aether Lens for the Bat Rider. Sanjin Kaya.
All in on damage.
Yeah. It could still go either way, absolutely, here. But the momentum has definitely swung heavily into the favor of IG.
Yeah, and they have so many different save functions now, too, right? They have the double 4-steps on the supports. Irving!
BKBs wants to get out. The BKB's not going to save you here, dude. They have the Walrus Punch. Can he get it off in time? Oh my god, he got it. Ends up getting caught and killed. The BKB wore off.
Was that the Basher from Dawnbreaker? Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I was like, what the? Yeah, he bought that up a little bit earlier.
Well done.
Let's get a connection. Irving says negative. He doesn't like that. And now instant smoke. So they didn't have to commit much of anything. They want to get more. How long on Aegis? 15 seconds. This is kind of perfect timing for Aries.
The prize is mine.
4,000 gold lead for IG, but can be swung into. And if you win one fight right now, particularly as this Aegis is expiring,
oh, this could
yeah,
be
they're
huge.
following the courier. They're following the courier. They know that they're over here. And see the TB illusions. They're going to look over at Paulison, find him first. Get the snowball, the Walrus Punch. He gets a leap away. Stolen leap.
Okay.
Dude, all right, and then the jump from the Slark.
Not the kill they wanted to go for there, but now they're getting themselves back into the game. It's a really, really close one. And thankfully for IG, it wasn't one of those gem carriers. They actually do have it on Dust, so didn't end up giving that one away. Dust almost has Octarine. We have a full Satanic finished up on Emo, and they're just, dude, they're feeding him all the tomes. I think that's the second or third tome I've seen the Counterblade take. So all about the TB. It is a 4 Protect 1 lineup, so it is really everything onto him.
I love that we can see his fingers tapping too. That's a good camera angle right there. That one's sick. Almost level 20 now for the Terrorblade because of those tome usages. And Aries, are they going to try and make another run at it here? With White Album coming back in, it feels like they could maybe go for another smoke play.
I like how long Emo is delaying his BKB too, right? He got the SNY, he got Titan Sliver too, so he's like, all right, I'm tanky. You know, I got status resist, I got magic resist, I'm kind of good. And his positioning's been great. But we are seeing Aries, they're trickling back. That net worth is starting to go slowly back into their favor, perhaps. And now White Album, he does have a plate mail, so a lot more survivable on this Lesh, so that perhaps he can get onto the TB. And it's still, I still feel like it's the same thing. If they get on the TB, he's probably just going to die.
Right.
But initiation is going to be everything for IG. Can they blow up White Album before he gets saved?
And in a way, it feels like that window in which they have time to get on top of him becomes a lot smaller because of how strong Terrorblade is. Like, if White Album just runs at him straight up, he might die to the damage that's coming in because Terrorblade's gotten so much farm. But we'll see for it and how it works. And, you know, Satanic ain't no joke, that's for sure.
Just they do have 4 ways to get on top of him, though.
Yeah.
The Dawn, the Tusk, the Lesh, the Slark. They're going to all in on this TB.
Yep.
So it's going to be up to IG to kind of protect him. Shadow Demon could be a key. So maybe eyes on QIQX to get that positioning for a disruption as well.
currently only really has that Force Staff in hand for keeping his positioning in a good place. Because if they happen to find that Shadow Demon at the start, then that's where things feel really good. But we're also seeing the other play that occasionally was coming out back in the SD Luna days. SD Terrorblade can send out some illusions of his own.
I think I'd actually, okay, I think he's gone for, what do you go for, Aeon Disc for himself on the SD? I actually would have said maybe like a Blink Dagger just because it's all about positioning.
Right.
But either way, he's going to go for just survivability. Kind of similar. Maybe he can just stand in the midst of stuff. And we do see now Irving, he has a Refresher.
Dude, what a build. Just PKB Refresher.
Yeah. And he's got Shard too, so he can multi-latch heroes.
And one of the few times where Soul Ring really feels like a good item too.
Yeah, necessary. That's why I think we're seeing it more and more on Mars. Like there was a moment, there was a good phase where we saw like the Falcon Blade a lot of times, but I think Soul Ring's actually just still good on this hero. You need it for your mana pool. Gives you armor, which you're lacking as well, so that still feels nice.
So they saw that ward get placed down on Aster.Aries, and they smoke out afterwards, trying to find a wraparound. They think that they're up in this area, and, well, they are right. And finding the SD right at the start. Irving already drops down one. The BKB is there. Lasso on a White Album. Is it enough damage, though? Oh, the save came out from the Slark. Keeps him alive. Can he do enough damage to Emo, though? He's trying to go toe-to-toe here against him. The rest of the team is not there. Ulu shows up after. The disruption to keep him alive for the moment, but Dark Pact, Ulu has to jump away from him. Didn't have any save left over for himself.
He gets destroyed by the illusions from the SD.
Too much damage coming out. White Album got saved, but Ulu ends up going down.
Irving, a beautiful separation of the fight. He forces like 3-4 heroes onto him on the left side of the fight. White Album actually does the right thing. He sticks on the TV, but he doesn't have enough help. And then the SD QIQX, he actually somehow survives during all of it and is able to get that disruption. That Aeon Disc purchase comes out very beneficial.
A much better game than we've seen so far this tournament from IG. It feels like they've made some changes with how they've been thinking about the rosters in the games, and it's looking a lot better. Emo starts to try and take down this tier 3 tower, but with the Lesh spam, becomes a little bit too tough for him. And now they're going to back out. And Roche, a quick respawn. They're going to get that one almost instantly.
They're going to be able to commit for it, though. Meta's still cooldown. Slark's coming back. Donald, too. This could be a bit of a scary one for them to just commit into Roche. Let's see what Emo decides. Not quite yet.
Yeah, I guess that they don't have the arena either. It's going to be back up in a second, but probably want a second one.
I think it's a go time for Aries, because they know that there's not the double arena for sure.
Drops down some ward. And gets down one of their own. AC completed.
AC. I mean, they're still really farmed on their Tricor. It's just how they take the fights. They have to be together. So it's like Irving's job. It's Irving and QIQX kind of in a way. They're the ones that are going to be forcing the separation on the side of IG to allow Emo to wail on targets. Aries have to be on the same page together of protecting with that Depth Shroud, which they have been doing, but then committing onto the TB.
Yeah, they need to all be there, beating away at him. And at the time, it was, you know, a really good job, like you said, of making sure that Irving was keeping them out of the fight. But a 3,000 gold lead.
Still kind of anybody's game. The TB is huge, but it's a lot of execution on IG in order to protect him.
Yeah, we're starting to also see in those net worths that like disparity where TB becomes like the, you know, gold hole that sucks up everything into the world, and the rest of the heroes kind of falling apart a little bit in terms of the amount that they have, but they have really good items for this moment for fighting.
Arcane Rune as well with that Octarine on bat. White Album, he's got Shivas, so a little bit tankier.
Just finished Shivas on the Lesh rack. So full AC, full Shivas.
They might get him again, though.
Jump in, catch. Where's the save? Do they have it in time? The big ulti coming in from Dawnbreaker to turn, and also the save from the Slark.
Emo
trying to all in on him, but the Force Staff, the double Force Staff, gets him over onto the low ground, and the arena catches them all there. Emo gets the Sunder off onto White Album. Ulu
on him.
right on top of him. Red Panda has the lift after if he wants to turn on, and Aries has killed off everybody else. It's just Emo. He's staying there all alone. Going to get dropped. They pull back in the SD. He was too far away for the disruption. And I don't know if it would have mattered anyways, as QX would be in the grave.
Oh, and in such quick fashion that now the game is now turned completely on its head. Roche is up. They used everything. No buybacks. Oh, boy. They stuck on him. They couldn't finish off White Album either. The Depth Shroud again to protect him. And just full commitment. This time they do get onto this TB, and I think even just a little Stormcrafter play at the end there, perhaps saving White Album, right? He throws himself up in the air when the TB is hitting him. Aries come out strong.
Taking a look at this again. At first I thought maybe they're committing too much defense on this moment, but there was exactly the right amount, it turns out.
Ulu, he's on the outside of the Mars ult, but he actually was just in range to get Depth Shroud the caster, and he's pretty crazy, of course, on it, but yeah, beautifully done. And this time they can actually stick perfectly onto Emo.
Yeah, and Irving, I don't know if he got a second one off there or what ended up happening with it, but regardless, it was one of those moments where using the disruption to try and save the bat seemed like the right idea. He just died immediately afterwards and didn't have it ready for the TB.
Now huge lead for that tricore of Aries. IG, they had great moments in this game, but as we said, it was anybody's game. It's just all about those initiations and saves, and now Aries in a very comfortable position scaling.
Yeah, Halberd done. See,
he's so farmed. He really is doing such a good job of just keeping up at that like top net worth, even though he's been bullied a lot this game.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. I mean, he started the game with 3 of the 5 deaths on the Dawnbreaker and managed to still stay top 3 net worth.
Super tanky. Oh, he's been pretty perfect with his ults, honestly, right on top of where the Bat Rider lassos. Oh, and that's a nice pickup. That is a good Will White Album take it, though? I actually prefer him to keep Trickster Cloak in this game on this Lesh. Yeah. I think it's just too damn good because he's the one getting jumped every time.
Are there any things coming out that might change the game for IG at all?
Okay, he takes the Timeless Relic. I mean, he's been all about the spell damage, so I kind of expect maybe he will, but you can see the benefits, perhaps, of that Trickster.
I think that probably IG need to wait for the 25 timing on SD for the 2 charges disruption.
I don't know. And White Album actually, he brings the Timeless Relic to his Rubik. He keeps the good boy. I like that. He keeps the Trickster Cloak this time. I think that's way better this game. And there's also a Stolen Spear, of course, on Rubik too that we'll have to keep eyes for.
Oh, I like that. Has the shard, of course.
Game plan for IG has gotten so much more difficult now after that fight loss. No BKB on the TB, so he's very vulnerable if they get on him, as we've seen multiple times. And now they don't have that, safety blanket of an Aegis.
Yeah, it feels like need to get that, maybe like an Aghanims, and at that point, it's like you're really topped out on TB in terms of what you can build into. And still so much room to grow on Aries.
Game looking hard now for IG.
So 41 minutes, and with how long on this Aegis? 2 minutes here. They're going to try and run down this top lane. I would imagine that for Aries, they're comfortable just kind of sitting back, making those cross-map moves, farming up until their next item if they want to, and maybe pushing with like a little bit of time left on the Aegis or something like that.
I think they know IG's kind of ran out of steam, ran out of gas. They're not going to be scaling whatsoever versus this lineup. They can just keep playing the economy game. Don't let IG get out of the map. Get out on the map, that is.
Yeah, these little smoke moves. Kill off the TB illusions. Make sure nobody's farming over here. Get the farm themselves. And a Hex.
A full items. I mean, everyone's just getting like a full item, it feels like.
Yeah.
Emo has BKB, but doesn't feel like it's going to protect them at this point with how much they can just commit onto him. White Album, level 25.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy amount of damage on that one. I'm assuming he's going Edict.
Yeah, they usually. I mean, I don't think many people take the Lightning Storm one.
Okay. I guess he was just busy farming.
Yeah.
Courier coming on out with that one. Arrow fishing for anything. I mean, that's another thing, too. If you get, like, any hint that there could be a moment to try and bait out some spells or something like that, it feels like it's what IG are going to need. And maybe that's where, like, the Terra Wave can come into play a little bit later on as well from the Terra Blade.
If he's ever going to get that farm. They're trapped.
Yeah.
And Ares is farming the whole map, and if IG tries to go for a play, this Dawnbreaker's coming in. Like, they're playing for 25s. Dawn is getting close to it. So another carry that's gonna just, as we said, they're scaling so much harder.
Yeah.
Double Starbreaker, it's gonna just devastate pretty much all of these heroes. He hits incredibly hard.
Going in for that overwhelming blink next too. Could make a stop along the way on the Abyssal Blade if felt so inclined, but not doing it yet.
IG trapped in the base now for what feels like, 2+ minutes or so.
It's always the worst feeling in the world because you know that if you just sit there, you're going to lose. But you also know if you go out and fight, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to hope that they just run into you.
The Dota dilemma.
Yeah.
All right, they're feeling forced. They got to try to get something as Aegis expires. Who do they... I mean, if they can catch the Dawn, if Dawn makes a mistake, but we haven't seen him make too many.
They see the hammer.
Let's see. Can they get the grab?
Oh, Shanxi. Oh, no, Dust. Oh, just out of range. And there's the Hex. Oh, it feels bad. So you're going to get out of there in time. Disruption used, trying to keep him alive. We'll have BKB on his way out. And with the Arena, that keeps him alive.
Okay.
Oh, no. Holy moly, dude.
That was close.
Yeah.
Emo, as soon as the blink happened and didn't catch, Emo was already leaving. He was like, nope, not even going to help you. Sorry, my friend. You're on your own.
Queuing up a rapier.
Yeah. They're starting to really recognize how the game's going. Emo versus the world.
That's unfortunate there for IG. I mean, I don't know if that's enough because it still feels like Aries is close enough to back each other up.
Yeah, they probably lose the fight anyway, to be honest with you. I think
Yeah.
Slark is too close, and he can just depth shroud on top of the Dawnbreaker, and then she just probably ends up living, getting BKB off. So it feels almost like a desperate move from IG.
Yeah.
And there's 25 Dawn, so now a double Starbreaker, one of the more broken talents in the game.
Yeah, it's so much damage. And with an AC and Abyssal Blade done, I mean, that's chances of Pango of getting a bash, right?
Yeah, it's the amount of damage you do and even the sustain that you provide. Because when you're this farmed on a Dawn, you're not just like standing around in these fights. You're getting multiple hits off multiple Starbreakers, who are just pumping up everybody's health on your lineup too. Yeah, IG, they've just completely run out of steam.
Need to get that rapier. Need to get that blow up.
Yeah, I'm like wondering, does he just like... He might be tempted to just sell some items.
Yeah.
Like sell the Hurricane Pike, sell Treads, and just be a turret with Rapier, but...
I mean, the thing is, Hurricane Pike is still so important for his, like, positioning, which is still important, too, so...
Well, he's got it backpacked, so that's why I was saying it, right? He literally has it in his backpack right now.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, even if he gets the, like, I don't know. It's a hard game.
It's very difficult now after that mid-team fight that went all wrong. Well, I'm not even sure if it went all wrong. It just went all right for Aries. Like, they just like counteracted it perfectly. So they knew exactly what they needed to do this game, even though they had a couple of those fights that did go IG's way.
I mean, to be honest, it was mainly just that one fight that went really well for IG, where they found White Album, and obviously it looked sort of funky and weird with the lasso and all.
Emo, look, I think he's thinking about it. I think he's like, guys, should I do it? And his team's maybe telling him like, no, we don't need it just yet. But I feel like they do actually need it. I feel like Emo might just have to do that. Even with it, it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna make the difference, but it might just be something that's necessary.
They find White Album.
Okay, can they go for him?
Try to do just that. And I mean, TK's right on top of him. Big stun
Emo
to start the Abyssal Blade. The control. Does he have a target? Sunder wants to use it, but the Hex, the fourth step. It won't happen. Terrorblade is down. Irving, he's going to be controlled. They are tearing them to shreds. QYQX standing still, recognizing the situation for what it is, as all of IG are going to drop. The only two that get out of there is the Dust and the Mirana.
You know what I want? A tab that has healing done too, because I actually think this Dawnbreaker healed everybody for like over 1,000 healing in that last fight. Yeah. He's just wailing on targets, double Starbreaker in the face of the TB. I'm just watching everybody's health like getting ticked down, then ticking right back up, ticks down, ticks right back up. A really good game for the Dawn.
These long extended fights, you're talking about it. It's what they wanted to see, and they definitely have been getting it.
He's so farmed. 6,000 gold, a refresher also for the Slark, critical mass.
This is the type of game that feels real good to play in.
And now even an Aghanims if they want to give it to White Album. Then he's got Nihilism versus this Terrorblade too.
Yeah.
Who are they going to give it to? Do you give it to a
Oh my god.
They give it to the support.
Let's go.
I always want them to, but they never do.
Dude, they're like, TK, you're going to be farmed here too. Everybody is mega farmed. Dude, these supports are at 17K net worth. What the hell? 31,000 gold lead right now for Aries.
It's accelerated very quickly in this game.
Oh, yeah.
7,000 current gold on White Album as well, too. So he's got the buyback in to join the fight, even if they even kill him once or twice with the Aegis, that is.
So now you have that kickback, too, into a Hex. Dude. The precast Hex on the kickback is, like, probably actually not that hard to do either. Jumps in, finds one. Looking for some help. Where's the team? They're nearby. There's a Depth Shroud, and yeah, of course, they have that refresher on Ulu. Although...
That's the one.
Okay.
They have to do it 2 more times because he can buy back in as well.
True. White Album just backs out of there. TK gets the kick not back towards his team, but instead up to the top side.
All right. They'll actually back it up. They're a little afraid. Lasso was used, though.
Yeah. No lasso. Meta still good and dandy. But yeah, it appears that they're going to be chilling for now. And I mean, Rapier is close. If he wants to sell that Hurricane Pike or boots, Emo could do that and have it now. He just needs to find a way to get out onto the map. But I'm not sure if that's what he's interested in doing here.
35 seconds. Or actually 15 seconds, sorry, I clicked on Mars. 15 seconds for Lasso. I think their only real plays on side of IG is just go for high ground defenses like that. But even then, like, they barely even kill the Lesh. They're doing such a good job of covering each other. I mean, honestly, Ulu, the one position is playing like kind of this like pseudo 5 saver. Every single fight jumps in Depth Shroud.
Yep.
He always gets the save onto his buddies. Really liking the way he's been playing on the Slark.
And has also hit level 25 now too, so the extra long Essence Shift duration. I think it's a really smart call to give it to the Tusk there because, like, everybody else is so farmed, they're going to be able to get into an Aghanim Scepter of their own. Like, there's no real room for the Tusk to get into those items.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it, for sure. Him or the Rubik.
He's queuing up a Moon Shard after.
Oh, the Jin Q build. Go for 25.
Man.
I love it. That was the Jin Q 4 position. We got to see 9 do it the other day. He actually did get his Moon Shard and, like, triple punched people, so it's always fun.
Interesting. So queued up the Swift Blink, and that's what Terrible went for instead. Emo. Excuse me. We were watching the Emo versus Ego show the other day.
Yes, that was
That was a rough one.
We had to just emphasize which one it was multiple times. All right, yeah, Swift Blink.
But the net worth lead continues to grow as Tusk getting close to eclipsing the Bat Rider in terms of farm. As Moonlight Shadow, but they're going to walk in range, and they're not smoked.
Here's
Ulu knows they're there. Yep, they were so freaking ready for that. Emo, they're all on top of him. He's doing some damage, but gets him kicked away, and now he's in no man's land. He just has to TP out of there.
And they catch him.
Oh, and the leash! It connects! Oh, man. What a kick and what a catch. And now, finding the SD, he's going to be left to die yet again.
80 seconds, no Terrorblade. That's likely just the game.
With this lead, Aries are going to run down some lanes, and as you said, no buyback, no answers for this. It's going to be Rax. Can go for whatever they want to. A pretty immaculate showing from Aster.Aries.
Really good understanding of how to take the fights, and really good just ways that they play off of each other. Sure, no snowball saves versus Lasso, but they have the Depth Shroud constantly. They have the Dawnbreaker too. It seems like they've counteracted all of what IG wanted to do in this game. Even though IG did find a couple moments, you could feel that looming disaster as Dust just gets plowed.
Dude, the kick, and then like Ulu catches him in the air, and it's like a clothesline. That was awesome.
Erased. 46,000 lead, going straight through the back door.
They're just way too strong. As a smoke up comes out now from the Mars and the SD. They've got 10 seconds until TB is back up. Bat Rider's going to buy back now too. They're going to try and do one last hurrah. I feel like Aries do not care that much, but they're still being safe. They're going to back together a little bit here. Arrow, okay. Catches on to TK. and team keeping him alive.
See what you did there. TK, team keeping him alive. No? No?
I didn't see that I did that there.
Kickback!
Stun. Irving, he's trying to save Dust. It's not going to happen. Stolen Spear now. Spears him to the shards. They're dead. GG is called as Aster.Aries, 53,000 gold lead. Almost an hour-long game, but looking incredibly solid in this one.
Yeah, I think IG definitely still had perhaps some chances in this game, but I think Aries just recognized like the win condition, recognized how to save and bail each other out.